that my spirit moved and I felt that cold shiver that chilled my body but not my soul. 400 years of womanist determination. I said, my God, I can work with that. A lot of folks are aware of my commitment to social and economic empowerment, but not many are aware of my theological foundations. Yes, my undergraduate degree is in theology, but I'm referring to the foundation of faith that was instilled in me by women. Women who were curious, grown, comfortable in their skin, and at peace with your skin. For whom cleaning the house to get ready to dance with Soul Train on Saturday morning was as much a religious experience as getting up to go to church on Sunday morning. Women who told us if you can dance in the club on Saturday night, you can get up and go praise God on Sunday morning. How many heard that? Amen. Women who understood that there was a spiritual dimension that was more real than anything in the physical dimension. Who understood how to love without condition, with no need for excuse, but never failed to remind us to keep your dress down and your dignity up. If you hear Mother Alice Walker, the neologist of womanism, in there, it is because she is. It is also my great aunts and my grandmother, who is today 97 years old in Birmingham, Alabama. She has seen her share of many struggles, but declared to me some years ago that you can't slap me and tell me when to stop fighting. Feminists, maybe not. Because the intersection of feminism and indigenous women and indigenous and African women is not one of symmetrical alignment, but it is far more careful and intermittent. And thereby, when you know what is, you also know what isn't. So women who embody the very essence of all that womanism means to me, well, I absolutely know in my DNA memory that I stand on the shoulders of women who taught each generation that followed the power of womanhood. Women who have been buttressing their husbands, cradling their babies, holding together families and communities, all while under siege. And 5 centuries into the battle, you can tell us when to stop fighting. We remember them today. It is there that I find my struggle with this oration, though. My challenge is not with the role, presence, and power of women in our history, but in the narrative of 400 years. All history matters, and the distinction between English American history and indigenous and African history is that one repeatedly renders me invisible, feckless, and dehumanized. But the women who came before me, women who have endured, persevered, and flourished, remind me that nothing can be farther from the truth. So there must be a story that's not being told. We remember them today. Much is being said this year, particularly in the coming weeks, about 400 years. Just a few days ago, legislative leadership came together in Jamestown to commemorate the first English meeting on North American soil. The meeting was an acknowledgement of the beginning of English government, colonial Virginia, colonial America, and the United States. 400 years is indeed a benchmark. But what is the appropriate place for those of us who are only discussed in the context of English history as 20 and on, who arrived in Point Comfort just a month after that first historic meeting? History places us on this side of the Atlantic before 1619 and before 1492. Christopher Columbus's own personal journals record that he learned from the indigenous people in Hispaniola that black-skinned people had come from the southeast in boats, trading in gold-tipped spears. Spanish explorer Balboa, who died in 1519, gave accounts of his encounters with Negros upon his arrival to a world that was new to Europeans, but was not new to Africans. In 1919, renowned Mexican ethnohistorian Nicolas Leon wrote, "The almost extinction of the original Negroes during the time of the Spanish conquest and the memories of them in the most ancient traditions induce us to believe that Negroes were the first inhabitants of Mexico." Let those of us in this room be reminded that much of what was Mexico then is the United States today. So when we think about enslaved people who fled to remote settlements called palenques, in which they armed themselves against their oppressors, don't think post-1619, think pre-1619. The tradition of maroon communities such as those in Dismal Swamp was not a new concept for people who were enslaved by the English. It was a concept that was new to the English. It wasn't new to the Africans, the indigenous and African Seminole people who fled enslavement in Coahuila, Mexico, to live in what is now the state of Florida. It is only new to English American history. And it was women, along with the men, who fled, built, and settled communities, all with their babies in tow. We remember them today. Liberation was not new to Ghanaian-born Queen Nanny of the Windward Maroons, who were just a cruise. No, I'm sorry. A human trafficking ride across the Caribbean Sea in Jamaica. Today, just a 1-hour flight away from Florida. Maroon communities are largely left out of English American history, although we know they existed from Louisiana to Florida, South Carolina to Virginia, and were dotted along what is now the South, Southeast, and Southwestern United States. They were descended from Moors, Turks, and West Africa, escaped the Dutch, the Spanish, the French, and over more than a century before the English arrived. We remember Queen Nanny today because of her leadership in waging a successful war against the British, which resulted in she and her people negotiating a land agreement for the Windward Maroon people. Transferring historical knowledge and memory wasn't lost on Adbariah Toya, who was abducted from her homeland in the Dahomey Empire, which is modern-day Benin. In her homeland, this warrior woman was a soldier who defended the kingdom and served on its Council of Women. Marie was the mother of Jean-Jacques Dessalines, who entrusted her son to be cared for by her dear friend Toya after her death. Toya trained her nephew in the skills of combat in the way that she had done in her homeland. He went on to lead the Haitian Revolution, the only colonized country to liberate itself from the throes of imperialist bondage. We remember Adbariah Toya today. For those nations who still control the narrative of the land, the stories of the women who stood in their power have survived the deafening darkness of invisibility. They knew the legacy that connected them to their native countries on the continent. The continent the only continent that can be known by just the moniker, the continent. They understood how that legacy informed who they were and what they were called to do. And like them, colonial America and the United States are not also without women who took up the charge to stand, fight, and liberate. Well, we don't know them. Their stories are invisible to English history. Villanova professor, author, and playwright Valerie M. Joyce asked the question in 2016, and now I will pose it to you. Can you name 3 African American women who lived before 1865? The author of the one-woman play, I Will Speak for Myself, reminded us that's 250 years of women in this country. Why can't you name more? So we remember today Araminta Ross, who escaped to freedom, changed her name to Harriet Tubman, and led scores of others to freedom. We remember Sojourner Truth, who among her many accomplishments as an abolitionist and prison reform advocate, also brought one of the first known cases which an indigenous and African woman successfully challenged a European man in a United States court to win her son's freedom after he was illegally sold into enslavement in Alabama. With the passage of time, historians have begun to preserve the names of the women who have fought the good fight. We've already heard some of them today. So we remember Shirley Chisholm, Mary Church Terrell, Jane Boland, Dr. Alexa Kennedy, Constance Baker Motley, Fannie Lou Hamer, Dorothy Height, Mary McLeod Bethune, and Ida B. Wells. We remember them and many more today that we can remember. We remember Mary Nottingham Smith. We remember Julia Major. We remember Frances Bivens Ladder. And we remember Ruth Wallace. We acknowledge Jane Cabarrus today. And we acknowledge Alice Cole today. I leave you with the prose of Phyllis Wheatley. This renowned poet laureate, by the age of 20, found the voice of a 7-year-old girl who was stolen from her home in Senegambia, but in 1773 became the first English-speaking woman of African descent to be published. No more America. In mournful strain of wrongs and grievance, unredressed complaint. No longer shall thou tread on the iron chain, which wanton tyranny with lawless hand had made, and with it meant to enslave the land. We remember. Thank you.